So hello and welcome to our group presentation about supply chain management. So, as a toy manufacturer, choosing the right supplier is a key decision that directly impacts both our production costs and the quality of our final product. Right now, we are looking to select the best supplier for a module in our toy assembly process. To make the most informed and balanced choice, we are evaluating each supplier based on two key factors. So first of all, the cost per unit in pound. Naturally, lower the cost help us keep a production expense down, so it's better for us. And in a second way, we have the estimated defect rate per 10,000 units. Here, lower defect rate means a higher production quality, because we will have like fewer customer complaint and a lower return rate. So this is the data we have so far. For the first supplier, so the supplier A, he offered the module at £385 with only a 5 defect rate per 10,000 units. With the supplier B, it changed because it's cheaper. We have a price of £299, but it comes with a higher defect rate at 12 per 10,000 units. So for the supplier C, we have a price at £320 with 9 defect rates per 10,000 units. But however, there's a catch because we don't know the cost per unit with the supplier D, and that kind of missing piece is crucial, because before we can make a final call, we need all the information we can have to be sure about what we decide to do. So now let's walk through our evaluation to determine which supplier offers the best balance between the cost and the quality.
So, for our supplier selection, we entered a structured 5-round negotiation with supplier D, with the goal of finding the right balance between cost and quality. In round 1, supplier D started high, offering £380 per unit. We responded with a low counter of £260 just to open the discussion and reset the encore. In round 2, they dropped to £370. We countered again, this time with £280, showing we were willing to move up slightly. In round 3, they offered £350 and we moved up to £290. Still not quite aligned, but getting closer. By round 4, they proposed £340 and we responded with £310, signaling we were approaching our max. In round 5, supplier D came down to £320 and we matched it. Deal agreed. £320 per module with 8 defects per 10,000 units. Now, what's important is that we didn't just try to push the price down. Instead, we use interactive bargaining, which is all about creating mutual value, not just splitting the pie. We negotiated the complete package, not just the price. We made sure the defect rate was part of the conversation from the start. This approach helped us avoid the fixed pie bias, where people wrongly assume one side's gain means the other side's loss. Instead, we reached a Pareto efficient deal, which means both parties ended up better off and no value was left on the table.
Now we evaluate the performance of the different suppliers. The two dimensions that we use to assess the performance of suppliers are the defect rates and the cost rates. We'll now scale each attribute so it takes on a value between 0 and 1, 0 being the worst value and 1 being the best value. To assess the score of the suppliers, we'll use the following formula. Score equals x minus worst value divided by best value subtract worst value. So the calculated comparative scores are supplier A, cost 0, defect rate 1. Supplier B, cost 1, defect rate 0. Supplier C, cost 0.76, defect rate 0.43. Supplier D, cost 0.76, defect rate 0.57. Hypothetical supplier, cost 0.29, and defect rate 0.86.
Now we will define the weight of the two key factors, which are cost and defect rate. We base our calculation on the assumption that we would be indifferent between supplier A and an hypothetical supplier with a lower cost but a slightly higher defect rate. This led us to formulate a system of equations which are solved to determine the relative importance of these attributes. The defect rate carries a weight of 67%, while cost accounts for 33%. This means that for us, product quality is significantly more important than price. Using this weight, we calculate the overall score of our suppliers. Supplier A achieved the highest score, equal to 0.67, making it the best choice. Also, supplier D performed well with an overall score of 0.633. Based on these results, our final decision is to place 70% of our order with supplier A and the remaining 30% with supplier D. This strategy ensures stability through a long-term partnership, also enhances supply chain resilience by diversifying risk, and improves cost optimization by leveraging negotiation power. It also increases flexibility, allowing us to respond more quickly to demand fluctuation, and encourages competition between suppliers, maintaining high service and pricing standards. In conclusion, our approach prioritizes quality while maintaining cost efficiency and supply chain resilience.
In our supplier selection process, we actively manage 3 key cognitive biases. First, anchoring bias. We noticed that supplier D's high initial price could unfairly anchor our judgment. Instead of being influenced by that, we chose suppliers A and D based on objective scores, comparing them fairly on performance and value. Second, the framing effect. Rather than focusing only on cost, we reframed our decisions around total value, cost plus quality. This helped us see the bigger picture and make a more balanced evaluation. And lastly, satisficing. We didn't wait for the perfect supplier. Instead, we combined the strengths of suppliers A and D, allocating 70% and 30% respectively, to create a realistic and effective sourcing strategy. By addressing these biases, we made a more balanced and rational supplier decision. Thank you for listening. And these are our references.